This week on the Real Housewives of Orange County.
Want to know something? I can't do it. I can't. No, this
is too much for someone to deal with.
Way too much. Oh my God.
Yeah. He's a monster.
Yo, what is up, everybody, and welcome back. Today we're going to be talking about the new episode of the Real Housewives of Orange County, Season 18, Episode 9. Let's get right into this. Alright, so the episode begins with Heather and her family. She's now living in LA, as we know, so she's doing a lot of back and forth between LA and OC. The kids say that they like LA much more than OC, though. I personally would, well, first of all, I would never live in California, but if I would have to, I would probably prefer OC. LA is just too crazy, too chaotic for me. And Heather then starts to talk about her family dynamics and says that her 4 children all have different genders and different sexualities. I don't get it. It's too extreme for me, but, to each their own. But because of this, though, this is important to understand that she's going to do an event about inclusivity in Sonoma, and she invited the whole group, including Alexis. So then we see all the ladies kind of pack and get ready for the trip. Jen then calls Katie, and I like that they're becoming really good friends. So Jen lets her know that she will be going on the trip too, but she will meet them a little bit later because she's going to court to agree on the alimony and all those agreements with her ex-husband. This is really hard for Jen. It's not something that she wants to do. I feel bad for her, but hopefully this will end soon and, things will settle down and everything will go back to normal. Okay, so then everybody gets on a private jet. There was a seating chart because, there's too many problems with the group, and it was super uncomfortable because you had Shannon on one side and then on the other you had Alexis. And then these ladies are so messy because on the way to the plane, Shannon had made a comment about some shoes that John was wearing the other night at some premiere he was at with Alexis. And she had made the comment that she bought him those shoes. So, of course, Tamra has to scream, "Alexis, what shoes was John wearing?" So now Alexis is like, "Well, why are you talking about my man?" So it's too messy. When they get off the plane, Alexis is riding with Gina and Katie, and Alexis is talking about Shannon, of course, and how she needs to calm down and stop talking about her man. Then Gina turns to her and says, "You can't release those videos, though." So everybody at this point knows about these videos except Shannon. They then arrive at the place they were gonna stay at. It was an interesting place. It looked like a bunch of cabins. It was kind of giving like Aspen vibes. So for the lunch, the group split. One group is Shannon, Gina, Emily, and Katie, and then the others go over there. Shannon does order something to drink, which is a little controversial, I guess you could say. But one of the things that they talk about is this red carpet event that we were just talking about earlier. So Shannon honestly is surprised because this dog was always mad that Shannon was making things so quote-unquote public. But now he's in carpets doing interviews? That's crazy. Shannon also shares that she just submitted another offer to settle the money in this dispute. There was a deadline and she just did the offer. She offered to pay half, which is a lot. It's still a lot. It's about $38,000, which that's like a year of tuition for one of her daughters. It could be. So then the others, they're having their lunch, and then Heather takes them to have a wine tasting, and she also meets with some of the workers of that equality inclusion organization that she's working with. Then Jen eventually joins them when she finally got there. She says that her court date didn't go good. There seems to be a lot of resentment from her ex-husband towards her. He is going to be giving her $6,000 a month, which is it's a lot, but that's her 5 kids. You got to consider that. But she does have Ryan as well, so it's not like she's going to end up in the street. They ask Heather, how is she with Katie? She says that they're okay. Clearly she isn't. Heather is a very bitter, resentful person, but Tamra does bring up that she thinks that Gina is the one that's really responsible because she's the one that told Katie, or kind of pushed her to get this paparazzi thing out there. Then Alexis talks about Shannon. Again, that's all she seems to be able to do. She says that her wonderful fiancé Johnny won't accept anything less than the $75K because he claims that Shannon has smeared him all across the community. Yeah, right. Okay, so the other four, after their lunch, they go to the spa. And it was kind of cool because they had like this perfume thing, therapy. I don't know what it was. And then Gina shares that she got a dog. I think she thinks that this is going to make her feel better about splitting up from Travis. I'm going to be 100% honest. I still don't understand this whole Travis thing. And apparently she stays with him sometimes because her house is under construction. But Gina doesn't even know, so why should I? Shannon then gets a call from her attorney, and that son of a bee didn't accept the offer. Wow. Shannon says that she's not gonna offer another freaking penny. So she starts to cry naturally, and Emily's like, she believes that she should just make this all go away and pay so she doesn't have to deal with this. But oh my gosh, you guys, as they're talking about this, Gina is engaging with Emily about not paying him, and she accidentally slips and says, with all of this stuff with the videos. So Shannon's like, "What videos? What video stuff? What video stuff?" So they have to tell her about the videos, and she completely loses it again. It's too much for one person to deal with all of this. Shannon says that this is too much. He's a monster. She says, "I'm trying to better myself, and this is what he's doing." So she leaves to call her lawyer again and let him know about this because it kind of feels like they're using these videos as like blackmail or some sort of extortion. And you know what? I actually don't blame Gina, only because Shannon needed to know. Eventually, like, she needed to know. So Shannon goes to her room because it was a lot of info, and Emily and Katie, they continue their spa thing. They inhale oils and Himalayan salt. That's what it looked like. I don't know what that was. But then they get into a super hot tub, and Emily's thinking that she might talk to Alexis later because they're all going to have a dinner. So then we see them all get ready for this dinner and, call their significant others. Jen was talking to Ryan, and he was like, he looks like such a good guy. He was telling her, like, "I took this one to volleyball, I took that one to soccer, I took that one to basketball, we're getting dinner." Like, he seemed to have everything so handled, and Jen was like, "I'm so lucky to have you." He seems like a good guy. Seems. Okay? So, like I said, everyone's getting ready. However, Shannon is not ready. She eventually goes to talk to Heather. She wants to let her know everything that just happened, the deadline of that offer she had, him declining it, and then the videos and all that. So she reiterates that she paid for almost everything when she first started dating John. Shannon then goes into detail about the night of the accident. So yes, she lost control of the car, she hit the house, and she says that she then went unconscious and woke up in the hospital. Now, a few days later, a friend of hers called her to ask how long did the accident last, because the friend found it strange that John didn't come out to see it. Like, did he really not hear it? That's the question. So Shen didn't really remember much of that night, but then she recently went back to see her old text messages the night of what happened, the night of everything when that happened. So Shannon sees that she actually had sent John a picture of herself, and he completely ignored her. They show the picture, and it was her face full of blood. Wow. So kind of reading in between the lines here, they're kind of making it seem or inferring to or speculating that maybe John might have known about Shannon getting into this little accident and he didn't care. Which, if that is the case, that's horrible. But yeah, you guys, that was the end of the episode. Then it said to be continued. But wow, that was a lot. We are witnessing Shannon have panic attacks every episode. I feel so bad for her. Tamra and Alexis' friendship. It looks like their friendship is solely based on not liking Shannon. Like, it's crazy. I'm loving Katie. I really am. She's really fitting in well with the group. Jen is a sweetheart. Emily and Gina, I'm liking the fact that they're very supportive of Shannon. I think that has really scored some points for me when it comes to them. But yeah, it just said to be continued. We didn't see a trailer or like a little promo for next week, so I'm guessing it's probably going to be explosive because, like I said, they're all getting ready to have this dinner. So I can just imagine what's going to be going down at this dinner. But yeah, you guys, OC is really good right now. I'm enjoying almost every episode because it runs through pretty smoothly. But anyway, you guys, Please let me know, what are your thoughts about this whole situation. I know that it's messy, but like, what do you think about John? Like him randomly trying to get into all these media places, doing interviews with Alexis, him and her having these videos of Shannon doing the offer and him rejecting it. Let me know your thoughts about this whole thing. Please don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. You have a great one. Bye.